Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Perry Johnson, author of The Abandoned Poet, coming at ya. Tonight, we're going to be talking about some issues. And these issues involve a lot of out of the nutshell kind of thing. In the past week, I've been harassed by a store owner at a liquor store, pushed around by a police officer. The ambulance people were kind of nice, actually, and yelled at people at the hospital when I saw people suffering, screaming, yelling, in so much pain. You would never know how much pain. Maybe not, I don't know.
Stanley, what are you doing to yourself?
What the hell, you don't like
But it was horrible.
Stanley? Stanley!
And I had to train all the way back.
Okay?
I had to ask directions, I had to go place to place to place to place.
Stanley!
And I only made it by literally 1 minute. On a train. 2 trains. And another lady helped me. You see, we need to help each other in this world. Now, after all their abuse, I managed to still keep a, well, how do you put it? A pleasant character. A nice spirit. I like yelling at people. Does that count? Well, there's one thing I need to tell to the public. When you have a face like this, you will get abused. And I'm a pacifist. So, jealous people attack me. It's called tall poppy syndrome. I hear cats fighting. And I have no idea why. I better go check on them.
My girlfriend's pregnant too. I'm about to be a father. If I have a daughter, guess what I'ma call her? I'ma name her Bonnie. I read about your Uncle Ronnie too, I'm sorry. I had a friend who himself over some who didn't want him. I know you probably hear this every day, but I'm your biggest fan. I even got the underground that you did with Scam. I got a room full of your posters and your pictures, man. I like what you did with Rockets too, that was bad. Anyway,
So basically, I've been stressing over this video because I really didn't know what to say. But I know there was a lot to be said, if you know what I mean. So it's like, I didn't know what to say, but there's a lot to be said. Good thing I wrote this. I'll be doing a book reading as well. This is just my introduction. And after I will play something about autism. That's going to be my second autism video. And my new thing is eating chicken wings while I listen to things like that. Enjoy the song.
I ain't that mad though, I just don't like being lied to. Remember when we met in Denver? You said if I write you,
I like this song.
back. See, I'm just like you in a way. I never knew my father neither. He used to always cheat on my mom and beat her. I can relate to what you're saying.
I can relate.
So when I have a day, I drift away and put him on, cause I don't really got else. So that helps when I'm depressed. I even got a tattoo with your name across the chest. Sometimes I even myself to see how much it's like adrenaline. The pain is such a sudden rush for me. See, everything you say is real, and I respect you cause you tell it.
Listen to the man.
Cause I talk about you 24/7, but she don't know you like I know you, Slim. No one does. She don't know what it was like for people like us growing up. You gotta call me, man. I'll be the biggest fan you'll ever lose. Sincerely yours, Stan. P.S. We should be together too.
While that happens, I'm gonna heat up some chicken wings.
Dear mister, I'm too good to call or write my fans. This'll be the last package I ever send your ass. Been 6 months and still no word. I don't deserve it. I know you got my last 2 letters. I wrote the addresses on them perfect. So this is my cassette I'm sending you. I hope you hear it. I'm in a car right now. I'm doing 90 on the freeway. Hey Slim, I fit the Jam in the Drive. You know the song by Bill Collins, In the Air of the Night, about that guy who could have saved that other guy from drowning, but didn't? Then Bill saw it all, then at a show he found him. That's kind of how this is. You could have rescued me from drowning. Now it's too late. I'm on 1,000. Now I'm drowsy. And all I wanted was a lousy letter of a call. I hope you know I ripped all of your pictures off the wall. I love you, Slim. We could have been together. Think about it. You ruined it now. I hope you can't sleep and you dream about it. And when you dream, I hope you can't sleep and you scream about it. I hope your conscience eats at you when you can't breathe without me. See, Slim? I'm trying to talk. Hey, Slim, that's my girlfriend. But I didn't throw. I just... See, I ain't like you. Because if she's suffering more, and then she'll too. Well, gotta go. I'm almost
Hit it
at the
up.
bridge
Hit it
now.
up.
Oh, I forgot. Am I supposed to send it out?
What a classic. I feel another copyright claim coming on. Like I have much to lose. Yeah!
Dear Stan, I meant to write you sooner, but I've just been busy. You said your girlfriend's pregnant now. How far along is she? Look, I'm really flattered to record your daughter that. And here's an autograph for your brother. I wrote it on the starter cap. I'm sorry I didn't see you with the show. I must have missed you. Don't think I did that intentionally just to diss you. But what's you said about you like to your wrist too? I say that shit just clowning, dog. Come on, how can bitch you? You got some issues, Stan. I think you need some counseling to help your ass from bouncing off the walls when you get down some. And what's that type of shit'll make me not want us to meet each other. I really think you and your girlfriend need each other, but maybe you just need to treat her better. I hope you get to read this letter. I just hope it reaches you in time before you hurt yourself. I think that you'll be doing just fine if you relax a little. I'm glad I inspired you with Stan. Why are you so mad? Try to understand that I do want you as a fan. I just don't want you to do some crazy. I seen this one on the news a couple weeks ago that made me sick. Some dude was drunk and drove his car over a bridge. And in the car they found a tape, but they didn't say who it was to. Come to think about it, his name was, it was you. Damn.
Now we're going to play another autism awareness video while I... Chicken wings! It's my new thing. Let's go with it. Okay? Now, please enjoy this video while I eat chicken wings! It's my new thing. There we go. These are bad
Families
parents.
up and down the country struggling to cope with their violent autistic children.
Cam, shall I go get your chocolate biscuits? Stop that noise! Are they in your room? Stop that noise!
Autism is often a hidden disability which affects around 120,000 young people in England.
I'm scared of him.
I'm Australian.
Because you live on a knife edge, because you don't know what's coming next, and that level of sort of heightened adrenaline, definitely experienced split lips, bruising all over.
We go inside the homes of 2 families struggling to cope with their disabled children for a glimpse of what life is like and the challenges they face.
Very rarely the day goes by where either myself, my wife, or one of our children isn't hurt in some way by Elliot, our son.
see or hear from parents about the realities of life for them and their children. But these families have invited us into their homes in the hope of raising awareness about a lack of help and support.
If he carries on in the way that he is,
An ultimatum.
he's obviously very hard to deal with.
Campaigners say some local authorities are failing to provide services that meet the needs of families and their children.
The system is not working at the moment for all autistic children, and that's an
Never has.
issue.
I've barely eaten in days. This is good. This is good for me.
It's terrifying, really, sometimes, because if it comes out of nowhere, there's always that bit of you that can't quite believe it's actually happening. So it's just a case of desperately trying to extricate yourself from that situation that you're in, which is easier said than done. If, particularly if he's got me by the neck, which he often does.
Every day is a challenge for Ian and Lucy. Their eldest son, Elliot, has severe autism and learning difficulties. Social interaction and communicating is difficult, and they say dealing with his condition, which requires constant care, is pushing them to breaking point.
He's the size of a very large, very strong 12-year-old, and that's the difference. If it was a toddler having a huge tantrum and flailing around and, scratching you and kicking you, you can manage it better simply because
I do like
so
my
much
chicken.
smaller. Whereas if you think of when Elliot does it, it's basically like a small man suddenly attacking you.
Let's see what else
Not
these horrible
everyone with
parents have to say.
autism is violent, though. A US study of nearly 1,400 children on the autistic spectrum found more than half were aggressive or violent towards their families. Elliot is 12 and has the strength of an adult, but thinks like a 2-year-old. His parents say a lack of specialist help from their local council has caused his behaviour to become increasingly difficult to deal with.
We've been living with Elliot being violent and aggressive most of his life. That probably first started encountering.
Then stop yelling at
When
him.
he was about 5 or 6 or so, I think we probably started. And the difficulty has been as he's got older and as he's got bigger and he's got stronger, he's still only violent for maybe 5% of the time.
Maybe he's
The
insecure.
consequences of that violence are getting worse and worse. And whilst
You're
he's only
bad
12
parents.
years old, he's the size of a 15-year-old. It's a law of averages that one day one of us is going to get really badly hurt.
These are definitely bad parents.
These scars are just a glimpse of what
They
Ian
are.
and Lucy
They are.
have had to endure when Elliot has a violent episode.
We can't stand bad
Definitely
people who
experienced
think they're good
split
people.
lips, bruising all over. Ian's had a scratched cornea from a punch.
Thank you,
He's knocked
Dominoes.
me down the stairs before, and
Top-notch
I've just
swing.
managed to hang on to the banister rail so that I've not gone the whole way down the stairs. But there's a severe injury waiting to happen. We know that. And the problem is that the help available to you is reactive rather than proactive. You have to get to absolute crisis point when one of you is hospitalised or you've had to call the
We
police
all know
out.
you're friggin' idiots.
This is why Ian
And you don't know
Lucy
how to
have
raise an
spoken
autistic
out.
child.
They say they are living in an almost permanent state of worry. So
Neither
much
did
so
my
they've
mother.
had to take measures to protect not just Elliot, but also their other children.
So this is Elliot's room, and you can see it's not like a room that most 12-year-olds would have.
I
They've
raised
made
myself.
Quite a few adjustments. The most obvious are
They
the,
have bars.
bars that we have to have across the windows.
They have bars across
you
the
can't get
windows.
used to,
These are horrible
but,
parents.
your child's bedroom looks more like a cell of some kind.
A cell of
And
some
it's
kind.
when you stop and step back and really reflect on it, and you go, what a symbol of just how different our life is. Most people do not have to set their child's bedroom up with locks on.
I have to pause for a second, because I take on a phenomenal feat in life, and I do take on a lot. I fight against abuse, violence, cruelty, corruption, discrimination, sexual slavery, pedophilia, terrorism, and much more. All that I've been through firsthand. I still have responsibilities. But let's find out more about ASD.
And the doors and bars across the window, but there are times when, in order to keep Elliot safe and in order to keep the rest of the family safe, that's what
Justify
we have to
it.
set up.
Go ahead.
Now, this family story is not a one-off. We've been speaking to many parents across the
Liars.
country, and they repeatedly tell us that there is simply not enough support available for their children, some of whom are also very violent.
But it's not in all cases.
"19-year-old Cameron is one of 700,000 people in the UK on the autism spectrum. He was diagnosed with the condition at the age of 3.
I'm going to go and do your telly. I'm just talking to Noel.
Please!
Stop.
Please! It scares me.
I mean, it can be quite dangerous for you being on your own as Cameron."
Well, yeah. If you weren't here, obviously I would just go and do it. And if the girls were here, I would do it because to stop this, because it's not nice for the girls to see, and it will probably escalate into more. Cam, stop.
Go up, please.
I will.
Go up now.
Okay.
Don't speak to them.
Stop.
Don't speak to them.
Okay.
Go on, Mum.
Okay. And as you can see,
Don't
he's
want to
edging
get-
towards me.
Hannah and Doug have devoted their lives to caring for Cameron, but due to his condition, his needs have
They
become
didn't.
increasingly challenging, and his anxiety and stress can sometimes lead to full-scale tantrums.
It's really upsetting. This is horrible. Because I love him
I'm
so
enjoying my
much.
chicken wings.
And yeah.
Again, they're bad parents.
Scared of him because
I know that.
You know, he's
I'll tell you why
his
after.
nature is gentle, and you know he's not meaning to be the way he is at all. And I feel sorry for him because he's frustrated and he can't tell me why or tell other people why. So it's horrible. It's sad, really sad.
Good chicken
How
wings.
much longer do you think you can continue to cope with Cameron's behaviour?
Do
We'll
love
do it for
my
as long as
chicken.
we have to, but it's gonna become, well, it already is unmanageable sometimes. But I don't know, because I don't know, you know, how he'll become as he gets into his early 20s. It could become worse. But really, we need to we are thinking about, you know, him living
A
elsewhere.
little spicy.
Because we can't manage his behaviour, because it is unpredictable, and it, you know, physically I can't manage him by myself. I mean, as you can see, he's tall, you know, facial hair. He's like a man, but he's like a baby, really. Okay, yeah.
Not doing that again.
I was
You know,
once
he
like
doesn't have the
this.
understanding. He doesn't understand why you guys are here. And also it's out of his routine, isn't it? So, yes, Cam.
Who's that?
No.
Almost anything can trigger an outburst from Cameron. Surrey Council, who
From
are
any
responsible for his
autistic or
care,
Asperger's
have
person.
told us they are working hard with his family to provide additional respite and day support.
I don't want him to go anywhere that I'm not happy about. So I don't know how long that will take, but if he carries on
Damn, these people are
the way that he
ignorant.
is, you know, he's obviously very, you know, hard to deal with. It's going to be really
He's
difficult.
suffering.
Excuse me.
Yes, Cam.
No.
It's important to get the point across that
These people aren't good parents.
Cameron
I can't see you.
being unruly, this is his condition,
Oh,
this
no,
is what it does to
absolutely,
him.
absolutely.
This is autism.
Yeah,
I can't
this is
see-
autism.
I can't see you.
Sometimes it seems like
They're
there's
not.
no light at the end of the tunnel in regards to the support and direction of where you're going to go, because we don't, you know, it's hard for us, and we don't know how Cameron's going to be. We don't know how.
Hold on. I need to pause for a second while I'm eating my chicken wings. A lot of people love to procreate, which starvation is happening, which is why I'm eating chicken wings right now. Because they expect a daughter or son to be so-called normal. But when they give birth to someone with autism, I don't know. What was she smoking when she was pregnant with him? Drinking? I don't know. But they can't cope a lot of the time. I don't even have parents, so I'm going to give a lecture about this after and a book reading. These are definitely bad people who raised a very, very, very honest son. Us autistic people are honest all the time. Why do you think my banners are in the background? Here we go. Continuing.
The children are going to be. We don't know how. Planning for the future and planning for what's going to happen is it's just been. I mean, the last 6 years, 7 years of just no direction at all.
Stop into that eyes.
This woman, who we're calling Sam, knows just how Hannah and Doug feel.
He hit me over the head with a plastic object, and I had to have my head glued. I thought at that point it'd be a turning point, but it wasn't. I thought I'd get help, but it didn't really happen.
We've agreed not to identify her in order to protect her teenage son, who is now in the care of social services.
First I got a bit of help, but then it went monthly, and then it was, right, okay, we'll wash our hands of you. You can have 48 hours a year respite from a charity. And 48 hours a year? Doesn't matter as much, does it?
Her son was taken into care following a violent incident in a family home in 2011. Documents we've seen appear to back up her claims that she had asked for help on a number of occasions. This letter from her GP to Children's Services reads, "Family struggling to cope with child's behaviour." He goes on to say, "Mother desperate for help."
I had cried and cried for help. I was absolutely exhausted, but more so my family was failed. My other children didn't get attention, or I tried to give them attention, but there's a limit to what you can do. And my son certainly failed. Absolutely.
So why are parents like Sam and other families not getting the crucial support and services they need?
In inpatient care, some of them are still...
I've come to the National Autistic Society, which helps thousands of people with autism across the country.
If children are not having their needs met, then they are being failed, and we have to try and work to change that system.
We're more intelligent than
special
you,
educational needs and disability system that identifies all the needs of autistic children that are out there, and then puts in place the support and the services to allow them to live the life that they and their families want to live.
In a recent report, the charity found families of autistic people in inpatient and residential care being failed due to a lack of trained staff.
We interviewed 13 families who had experiences of having relatives who were in inpatient care across both children, young people and adults, and basically we've incorporated what we found from them and what...
I gotta stop again. Why are Neanderthals of IQs lower than my weight trying to give advice to people who have written a book, become a YouTuber, and sings live on stage growing up at only the age of 31? These people are effing idiots.
What the lessons that can be learned from that in this report. And what it's really painted is a really stark picture of the fact that the system just isn't working at the moment.
The system isn't working now. But I'm enjoying my chicken wing. I like eating chicken on cam.
Cameron has recently started at a specialist day centre, but Mom Hannah tells me she's worried about the future.
I do feel guilty.
And you should feel guilty. Look at it this way. When you see me eating something on cam or cooking something on camera, well, it'll make you hungry. That's good for you. So, do something good for yourself. I mean, if me eating makes you hungry, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, yeah. There we go.
All the time. I feel guilty to Cameron. I feel guilty to my daughters. Yeah, I do sometimes feel like I'm not equipped for all of it, but I don't really have a choice. I have to do it. But yeah, guilt plays a massive part of every day coping with, you know, a child with disabilities, I think.
For Ian and Lucy, they are determined not to give up. I've returned to find out how they are coping with Elliot.
We've definitely had moments when, you know, we've gone to bed sobbing and just despairing at, you know, how is this our life and things, but you can't wallow in it too long because you've got exactly the same life the next day, and you've got to be up and you've got to be with it. And, you know, it's difficult because there's no blame you can attach to Elliot. There's nothing fundamentally different you can do, so you're just carrying on and hoping to try and learn the lessons from whatever precipitated that particular bout of aggression to try and reduce it or avoid it next time.
The Autism Act, which was introduced in 2009, is currently being reviewed by politicians, but laws on their own only form a part of the solution. As for Cameron and Elliot, their parents are their real lifeline. They may face abuse daily, but they don't want their children to be misunderstood. All they're asking for is more support.
Come on! I gotta correct the ignorant people in this world. Autistic people are left vulnerable. I don't even have parents. Come on. Corrupt police, homophobia, it runs rampant. Racism. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. No, we don't. Yeah. And misunderstood people on the spectrum. Yeah, we don't like that. Hey. Let's see what else we can do.
If you wait for me, then I'll come for you. Although I've tried so far, I always hold a place for you in my heart. If you think of me, if you miss me once in a while, then I'll return to you. I'll return and fill that space in your heart. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you. You feel me waiting. If you dream of me like I dream of you, in a place that's warm and dark, in a place
where I can feel the beating of your heart. Remembering your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace, I'll find my way back to you if you be waiting. I long for you, and I have desire to see your face, your smile, to be with you wherever you are. Remember your touch, your kiss, your warm embrace. I'll find my way back to you. Please say you'll be waiting. Together again. It feels so good to me in your arms. Where all my journeys end, you make a promise. If it's one that you can keep, I'm about to come for you. If you wait for me. Say you'll hold a place for me in your heart. 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 Would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies went down the wall as I fell asleep. 'Cause they felt the ocean air and the flowers everywhere. And didn't be open, I would just stand and stare. I'd like to make myself believe planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. 'Cause everything is never as it seems. 'Cause I get the losing buzz from 10,000 lightning bugs. It's way to teach me how to dance. A problem on my head, a somehow beneath my bed. Discomfort is just hanging by a thread. I like to make myself believe planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. 'Cause everything is never as it seems. I'm falling asleep. Nothing's than just a crack. It's really such a funny act. I'm going to take a counting sheep. I'm so tired to fall asleep. And even fireflies, you can tell them great goodbyes. Don't blinking eyes, they said farewell. I'm going for a ride. I'm just so real bizarre. I can feel like into the dark. I like to make myself believe. Planet Earth turns slowly. Not to think I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. Everything is never as it be. I fall asleep. I can make myself believe. Planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to think I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep. Everything is never as it is. I fall asleep.
I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, because my dreams are bursting at the seams.
Spooky. Next, I'm doing a book reading. It's gonna be great. One of my little mishaps. Sometimes you miss the hat. Don't you love it when you miss the hat? Sometimes you flip and you miss the hat. Eventually you get great at that. But sometimes you miss the hat. This poem is called Thank You, Mother. I'd like to thank you, Mother. Thank you very much. I'm lucky to get a call from you. Once every 6 months. I'd like to call you names, but people say honor thy mother. You just sat back and watched as I was brutally beaten daily by my brother. I used to wonder if I came from a decent family. Then one night I was walking down the street. I saw a happy family, just like ours, and they were horrible to everyone they met. One kid had a black eye, and I heard the husband bash his wife. No wonder there are so many people jailed after being threatened with their life. Thank you for strangling me. I'm sure you'd know how to justify that. You've become an expert at making excuses, as you raised us worse than that. I begged you not to send us to fathers on... He only destroyed 2 of your children in this life. You had enough time to yourself on school days, but I guess that's the fear of a spouse-bashed wife. Have I thanked you yet for forcing me to live in poverty? You made me choose between an alcohol addiction and a loving home and family. Then you use your newborn grandson as a reason years later. I've tried to forgive you for the past, but you were a degrader. You took a job with Asperger's. That wasn't because of me. At night, if we made too much noise, you just wouldn't let it be. You came into our rooms and hit us with a kitchen stick very hard. You've kind of fucked up now, because you didn't know I'd be a bard. You've kind of fucked up now, as you didn't know I'd be a bard. I know you're telling me to get over it, but I am still in the right. I've got my survival spirit back now. I can now stand again and fight. I was forced into prostitution young, because you made me leave. I hope you do feel guilty, as you wear this on your sleeve. You deprived me of a full education by underestimating me in our relation. Perhaps, if given half a chance, I would have had a proper occupation. But I was labelled by you, growing up, in every way. It was only because of you I never really had a place to stay. You messed up yours and our lives because you never think. I'm dying in a caravan park because you and them drove me to drink. Oh, and thank you for family violence and trauma, from which I tried to kill myself. You somewhat regretted having children, and have never cared about our health. Am I the only one that knows you threatened to put me in a home often? By the way you made it sound, I would have been better off in a coffin. Do you know that I blame you for most things up until now? Everything people do in life, you've never showed me how. Will you yell at me for saying this? Because I kind of miss it in your voice. Or will I be disowned because I don't mind if that's your choice? Do you have the sense to never fuck with me again? I could never be your son again. But I can try to be a friend. This has been Scott Perry Johnson, author of The Abandoned Poet, coming at you. This concludes the video, and please do something good for yourself today, tonight, or this morning. Whenever, wherever. You can do some good things for yourself. You can be happy. You can. I'm so tired of the world being miserable. There's no price on happiness. Just be happy. Bye. See you around. Bye for now. This is, again, I already introduced myself. Bye.